Obviously, I thought that was a fun game. We knocked down a lot of shots, thought we played with pretty good urgency offensively. I was on our kids a lot to stay intense, and I actually thought we did a good job. It's a little tough, when it was a 30-point game, a good part of the second half to keep that intensity. But they do a good job of crashing the offensive boards. That's something we struggle with, and I really wanted to work on that. And I don't think we did the best we can do on the offensive board. So still things that we can take away. We need to work through. But I love the depth of this team. I love the way we play together as a team. I mean, there's one possession I thought we look like the Vine from the Golden State Warriors, where they share the ball and shot fake and make the extra pass. So it's a pretty fun team to coach.
You made it to the three and hitting the threes too tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and we've talked about, thank you, we've said from the get-go, if we shoot 53s, we shoot 53s. And, we just want our kids to shoot with confidence and shoot good shots. And a good shot's a good shot. And they played some zone, and they were sagging off, and they were pretty big inside, and they did a good job blocking shots. So I thought pretty much every three we took I thought was a good shot, and it was nice to hit 17 of them.
I know after the Iowa game you were kind of concerned about the legs being there, but this team looked as fresh as they've looked all season. Was that just you make a few shots and you get some stops and everyone kind of you're not tired anymore, or is this team just that well conditioned, that deep, that it doesn't really set in?
I think the main thing I was worried about is kind of an emotional hangover too, just from so much emotion in that game. So I thought that was part of our seniors did a good job kind of getting our team refocused for this game and knew that this was an important game to win. And then I think the physical side of it, hitting shots helps, but I think we're in pretty good shape this year, and we are a little more deep than we've been. So I think that helps, and we've also been kind of changing the way we do our rotation for practice. So we still did some things intense yesterday, and I think that helps keep our minds really sharp. But I thought the players did a really good job bouncing back from a tough physically and mental game at Iowa.
You guys were, I think it was a close game, maybe 11-10. You took a timeout, and it was, I think you went 4 reserves. I think it was Sierra, Jasmine, and both Taylors and Michelle. And that really seemed to spark you. Is something you saw from that group that you just thought going to them would really kind of get things going?
Well, again, we have really good depth, and it feels like, if someone's not quite getting the job done, there's plenty of people that are, and not that those other kids were really being punished either. It was just, let's get some fresh legs in here. I think part of it was, let's make sure we're getting our kids rotated, and those kids did a really good job sparking us. So I think it wasn't really, sometimes you have to kind of send a message. Those kids were going to sub in, 4 or 5 new kids, and it wasn't like that. It was just we need to get some fresh bodies in there, and those kids did a really good job.
There was also a time where both Taylors started the second half, and then you had Sophie and Jasmine out there together. Are you still just trying to tinker with lineups and use games like this to really figure out who works well or what combinations you really want to go with in the future, or is it just kind of a game to play these girls and having fun with them out there?
A little bit. I normally don't do that, but we were kind of playing with some lineups, especially seeing Sophie and Jasmine out there together and then going small to start the second half to kind of see how things go. And I really like both of those options. So we have so much versatility in our subbing patterns and our personnel that I think there's just going to be a lot of things to think about and look at. And so we're trying other options, or we're trying options and, giving kids a chance to play together. Sophie and Jasmine, for example, play together in practice quite a bit, and they seem to work pretty well together. So I think going small can be pretty effective. We're already so small, we might as well really put a fast lineup out there. So we definitely have some flexibility in that lineup.
Feel like the thick of the season is kind of here, it's almost turned to December and everything,
Yeah, it's snuck up on us, I think. But, we've been ready really since last year. And I think this team, and we talked about at the beginning of the year that we had something to prove. And I've been really happy that so far we've played with a little chip on our shoulder. And I think there's a lot of people externally now that are maybe opening their eyes and thinking Western's still going to be a contender. And I'm excited about that because that's something that we thought internally from the get-go.
You talk about Emily Clemens' progress and now
Yeah.
she's getting a lot of hits.
She is. I mean, Emily's just a real fireball and earning a starting role and just does a great job handling the ball. She's a good passer. She's a really, really good instinctive player. So sometimes we're trying to get her to bring her instincts back a little bit defensively. But, Emily's just a kid she's got a good career ahead of her. She can attack the basket and score. They were playing a zone, so she didn't get to do it too much tonight. She can knock down the three. She's one of our best shooters in shooting drills in practice. And trust me, we've got a really good shooting team. So I think the future and really the present is really bright with Emily.
Can you tell that she was coached by a former college
Yeah, it's crazy. And believe it or not, I worked with Susan at UMKC. I was the tennis coach when she was the basketball coach. So when she called me, Emily's a kid that is one of those recruiting stories. How did we find her? She didn't play a ton of AAU. She was a 4-sport athlete. So really from Susan's suggestion, I remember Coach Minner and I made a special trip somewhere, I don't remember where it was, to watch Emily, and she was literally the only player in the gym we were watching because she just played in so few events. But I definitely think Susan did a good job developing her, and I was able to trust Susan's judgment in that she could play at this level, and she definitely can. So we really feel like we got a steal with her.
Anything else?
How did the legs feel coming into this game, playing such a physically and emotionally draining game just 2 days ago? Was that your concern coming into tonight, that you might not be 100% fresh coming into this game?
I think we tried to be mentally there, pick up our intensity, and that kind of, for me at least, I wasn't even thinking about my legs and how tired I was, but definitely having such a high intensity helped overcome the tiredness.
Coach really kind of tinkered with a lot of different lineups tonight. He went tall, he went small, he went with a defensive one, an offensive one, a shooting lineup. Is that something you guys are just kind of learning to play together, or is it just early in the season, it's just fun to get out there and try different combinations of groups?
I think it's just trying different combinations is a really good idea, especially in a game like tonight where we have to keep our intensity high and stay mentally focused, and then just play with whoever's out there and play smart and really get our chemistry going with no matter who is in the game, just so that could happen in any game. We could need whoever in at any time depending on the other team. So I think it's really great to be able to try different things now.
When you're coming off short rest, what kind of gets things clicking where you don't really feel as tired? Is it making shots, or is it getting stops on the defensive end that really kind of picks you guys up, or is it a combination?
I think it might be a combo. I think the making shots definitely is a confidence booster. Just talking a lot, kind of getting rowdy, and just having everyone on the bench kind of for you and clapping for you. I think that just kind of helps.
It was a tight game early, I think 11-10, and Coach called a timeout, and I think you guys came out of it maybe 16-17-0 run. What was said there, or was there anything that really needed to be said? It just kind of needed to be refocused, everything?
Yeah, we were told just to pick up our intensity. I think we felt that we needed to also. So just once we hit a couple shots there, which was good, we started going and picked up our defense. We got a few steals, and that really led to our offense.
To start the second half, there's a different group out there, but yet it really seemed to get you guys going. It's kind of a shooting group, a smaller lineup. Is that a lineup you guys enjoy playing? Is that smaller lineup and maybe a little bit more getting up and down the floor group?
I think it was fun everybody on our team pretty much can shoot, but even though we were a little smaller, we still do have bigger athletic guards that can guard the people on the other team that are bigger. So I think being able to put up shots and hit shots is like fun on the offensive end, and then going back on defense, we still have the athleticism to be able to guard the other big players too.